Grant's lubing his shaft up.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. He's got some good old grease in there. Anyways, that's for the who's what's it, right? The who's what's it? Power take 'em off here. That thingamabobber. Oops, fucking with the gimbal. It doesn't like that. So, it's the dumbest thing ever. Oh, what's the matter, Tim?
Something flew in my neck.
Jarrow spider?
No.
So, we found the first Jarrow spider. I did, anyway. The first Jarrow spider, I don't have my hat on, so you don't recognize me, was at my parents' house. It was just a little thing. I took a picture of it. It's on my Instagram. So, if you're interested in what those Jarrow spiders look like, they're nasty. Nasty looking. This thing's got spikes all over it. It was from the underside, but I did a quick search. It was definitely not a orb weaver or garden spider. It was one of those ugly ass Jarrow spider. So anyway, here's the 8530. I figure I'd turn it around. Did you get me a picker? Yeah. Probably. What's that one? I'll take them both. These are the pickers I needed. I started this project, simple, right? Stupid, super simple, stupid project of fixing the little windy wheel, right? Now, alright, now I've got my tractor all ripped apart because of this. Take this for a second, please. You ain't got no fingers, do you? Anyway, you know the little spinny wheel that Dear John has on here? This little guy, like that. And it's got like a couple other pieces to it. Well, last night, we started to bale hay, and that little windy wheel, for some fucked up reason, was not... It was tight. I'm like, why is that thing so tight? What the hell's going on here? So, it's tight. Why is it tight? Don't know why it's tight. So I figured I'd take it off. When I took it off, the button goes flying over the steering wheel, onto the window, and down that nice little hole there. You dirty dog. Everything's fallen. So that little hole links up to these holes, which links up to this down here. Get my fat ass down there and get that. And down the air tube, but it didn't make it that far. It got hung up in here, thankfully. But I had to take the floor mat up, had to take the floor off, had to take all this crap up, all this stuff off, just to do that. Now I'm going to see if I can figure out how to get that button to screw back on there. It's got this weird little threaded pain in the ass thing. Who the hell's calling me? Robocaller. Yeah, it's like, you know, from that 1980s movie, RoboCop. Mm-hmm. Well, this is Robocaller. This is Robocaller. Call this number like over and over again and robocall this idiot. We'll do that. Anyway, so that thing went flying, and where are you in my view? I'm actually going to go ahead and take it off if I can. Of course, now, oh, there it goes. So that knob, there's a screw in there that you got to screw it in with, and then it's got the little grabber gizmo, that flat spot in there, so that it can turn. So it holds onto the switch and then it turns that way. But I do see right here, I'm gonna go ahead and get a, Tim, get your ass up here. You can watch what I'm doing. There. I see that there's a little thing there to pop the cap out. Now, let's see if we can lose this thing too, because we're having one of those kind of days. Mm-hmm. Oh my God. It's probably going to ruin the button. There's multiple pieces in here. I can just tell. Yes, there is. Okay. Here's the little plastic piece that holds on to this, right? Mm-hmm. That's what that does. Which way does it go on?
Well, you put the knob on first, and then you snap it in place.
Yeah, I know. Oh. Oh. So this turns in here. See that?
Yeah.
So that was the problem. That actually just loosened up. And when it does that, you kind of lose all your power, all your ability to have a nice free turning knob. Of course, that's what she said, but you know what? We're not having free turning knobs here today.
Jesus.
So anyway, this is the 8530 if I didn't say that. If I did, the guy that claims that I repeat everything I say 45 times, that one was for you. You douche canoe. Did somebody tell me they were going to start using that douche canoe word?
Douche.
You douche canoe. I love that word. I'm like, douche canoe really isn't a word, but you're more than welcome to use it. You know, that it pretty much, you know, what is the definition of a douche canoe? Somebody actually made up a definition for that word. And I think Haley's the one that actually, I heard it from, my daughter. You know, my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
You know, your sister.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. One that doesn't love me anymore. But that's okay. There'll come a time in that kid's life when she wishes she had her dad. But, whatever. Such is life. Now, why the foofar? Oh, what? That won't fit in there now? Okay. Let's say we not do that. I understand 100% what this thing does. Okay. Okay. Isn't that what everybody says? Oh, you say okay a lot. You say a lot of things a lot. Okay, then. Alrighty, then. That came from Ace Ventura. Remember that movie?
Yeah.
Pet Detective? Yeah. My favorite scene from that movie was when he was up that mechanical freaking rhinoceros's ass. That was fucking hilarious. I mean, I don't know why, but I just laughed and laughed and laughed at that. Okay, so you put it on like a so. And then you take this guy here and you put this guy on like a so. Right? Mm-hmm. That's how you do that. And then, and we're just learning as we go here. There's probably a specialty tool. I guarantee you there's a specialty tool for this thing. And Dear John probably commands a pretty hefty price for it. So because I don't work for John Deere, I just work on them. I think that's what I'm going to do from now on. I think we should just start buying and selling older John Deeres and fixing them, making them 100%, put new cab interiors, paint them up, and then sell them. Wouldn't that be a good idea? We could just clear the shop out. We can take those old trucks and get rid of the 43, 4010, 4430. And just turn it into a farm repair shop. Wouldn't you like to do that? It could be a 9-to-5 job for you, Tim. And to hell with this farming crap. Because farming right now is really starting to annoy the ever-loving snot out of me. And I just bent that fancy pants picker. You see that? This is a Craftsman made in China. The American Craftsmen don't do that, so I'll have to... Is that my beautiful, lovely wife?
Yes.
Wife?
I just tore
Just my sex slave.
Shut up.
Asian blow-up doll?
Sick.
That's how I get cheap commuting on the Hov lanes.
Do you want your sandwich? It's really good. I made really good today. You know the onions that we bought yesterday?
Can you see the tractors apart at the moment?
What is it doing?
Fixing it.
What are you fixing?
Everything.
Ah, the one that you made, the one that Tim broke? Because
That's exactly the one.
No.
That's
I
what
didn't
it is.
break it.
Uh-huh.
He went to take it off and it went flying.
Oh, I got this whole tractor ripped apart over this stupid son of a bitch.
It fell down the vent.
Get the heck out!
You want to talk about an upset individual?
What the...
I think I invented curse words.
Oh my goodness.
Did I not invent curse words?
Yes.
Here I am. I'm like, oh, I'm ready to go bail. I already ate. I'm a bottle of water. I'm golden.
You
Ain't
golden?
got that shit all apart.
Okay, so. Now, wait a minute. Am I backwards with this POS? I am backwards with this POS. So that's how it goes. And then you take this. Oh, yeah.
So they did not replace my whole Cutco set.
No?
No.
Hey, look at that.
Replace the one that's broken handle.
If y'all are wondering how these things work, when this thing gets stiff like that, I mean, it was stiff. This was like going down to, I don't know, the circle jerk. And yeah, so that's much better. So in order to replace this thing or work on it, you just pull up on that. But be careful when you pull up on that, because if it comes untied like it was, that little button will do one of these and right down the freaking vents. So anyways, we are 99% ready. We're good. Now I just got to put all this stuff back together. Okay, tomato. That'll do it. Let's get rid of some stuff here. We got to. That's about blue skies and sunshine. Rough fields. I never farmed these before. We're baling now. You can see Teresa down the other end of the field. And I just got to tell you, I've never farmed these fields before, but I will tell you this. I know who did farm them before. He died, and a friend of mine picked it up, and he's going to put soybeans in here, which could be slight suicide, but I don't know. It'd probably be okay. But anyways, there's a lot that needs to be done before I would put soybeans in on this ground, knowing the people that farmed it before. So he's given me the hay. Kind of, sort of giving me the hay. He's giving me the hay, but I got to bale some of his hay, so it's kind of a one hand washing the other sort of a deal. And yeah, so that's what's going on. We're actually finally getting into hay. I've baled 111 bales today so far. I suspect by the day's end I will have over 200 and Teresa will have over 100 on. So it would be at 300 bales. Just say 300 bales. Hopefully 300 bales. That'd be all right. And it's all basically mulch hay. It's basically all mulch hay. This the people that farmed it before, he actually put fertilizer on this, and he said it was like it did nothing. Now it depends. This year it seems to depend on what time you put the fertilizer on.
Are you going to start weighing your knife, your Swiss knife?
I got my first Swiss Army knife. It was about 10.
Oh, yes, playing with my knife.
But I did have a knife. I had a Barlow knife that my Uncle Irv gave me when I was maybe 7 or 8. Every little boy should have a pocket knife, you know, at least a farm kid anyway. I had a pocket knife. My dad really never carried a pocket knife until later years. And, you know, I was a kid and he would carry a pocket knife, but it wasn't something that he carried on a regular basis. And then my aunt, she actually went to Switzerland and brought an actual Swiss Army knife home. A Victorinox Swiss Army knife.
If he'd rather have a knife for his birthday or a cat. He said he still wants cats.
Little boys always like pussy. Cats. Can't wait for that response. Anyway, she's not going to respond to that? Oh my goodness. Anyways, we've got these Midland two-way radios in here. I know that a lot of guys got sponsored to put them in. And the crazy thing is, I put Midlands in here before those guys were sponsoring them, getting sponsored to do it. I don't take sponsorships. Those Midland radios are great. In New Jersey, you're lucky to get, it's good for about 6 miles in the summertime because of the hills and the valleys. And but in the wintertime, you can go 20 miles easy. Or if you're on top of the hill and somebody else is on top of the hill, you can go 30-40 miles. They go a really long distance, and I really like them. But I don't get paid to say that. I've had them in here since 2020. I bought them in 2020. The only real problem that I have with them is the magnetic base on the roof. Those magnets break off, and I bought a few of those, and but that's really the only problem. They're really good for when you're working. Tim's about 4 or 5 miles, maybe 3 miles away from us, and he's good. You know, you can hear him. Grant is somewheres here with the 6210R. He was flipping hay because these guys raked this stuff, and they shouldn't have raked it, but they did. They raked it up. It was too green. They did it anyway, and today they had to actually just had to flip it. It's dry because the pressure on the, well, it's actually pretty damn dry because there's 1,300 pound of pressure on the boards right now, and that pretty much says it's about 10-12% moisture. I've got my moisture tester down here on the floor. I haven't pulled it out today, but I will. And everybody loves to watch Teresa and William go. He was in the tractor with me earlier, but that's the baler that burned. You can see that it's got a different color on the one panel, but that one's the one that was on fire. It didn't burn per se. It didn't burn to the ground. It just burnt, and she saved it. That girl is tenacious, if I do say so myself. Now, I've been up since 3:30 this morning. We had to go to church early so we could get this work done today. And yeah, I did. I went to church early this morning. I missed last night, so it's Thursday, obviously. If last night was Wednesday, it's Thursday, so that's what it is. We are baling at 8 miles an hour. 40 slices per bale. That's actually a lot of slices. I like to get them down around 25 because that means you're being efficient, but I would have to go much faster, or this hay would have to be a lot thicker, and it's neither. Neither of those things is going to happen. So there it is. Let me flip you around. You can see the 8530 go. Oh yeah, she's got brand new tires on her. A little over $10,000 in tires on that thing. And this tire here on the left this morning gave me an ass ache, so I had to change that one out. That's the tire that had the, that's the tire, well, that's not the tire. The left tire was the one that had the deer antler through it. So I patched it, and apparently the patch that Tim bought the other day was no good. It was no good. So it was junk tire. So it was junk. Couldn't put it on there. But fortunately, I had that spare tire, which there's nothing wrong with it, and I don't know where it came from. But it went on there, and we're baling. So life is good. It isn't going flat or anything. That's the original BKT. That's a Trelleborg. I think I blew a tire. I think that tire came from this tractor to begin with, because this is the only tractor that has that size tire on it. But I think that tire came from this tractor originally, and I think I may have blew out one of the other tires, and instead of just buying one new one, I used that one as I kept that one as a spare and forgot about it. But there it is now. And I'm still going to fix that sidewall in that tire. I'm not giving up on that thing just yet. But this one here, we're doing good. Anyway, I should probably shut up and get my eyes on the baler. I know, unless you want to watch Teresa and William come back around again, we're running both about the same speed, 8 miles an hour. And it's just melting the field apart. You know, you get two of these balers in here, you can cover a lot of ground. I bought that other baler. If you're new to the channel, I bought this baler that I'm running. That's the older baler. But this baler that I'm running, I bought it to do the North Carolina straw job years ago, back in 2019. I actually, yeah, 2019. I bought it in 2018, and then 2019 we did the straw job, and there she goes. That baler's got over 60,000 bales through it. There's something going on right now with I got to do some shimming on the rails for the plunger. It's got a bang to it, and I know that it's either the rollers are worn, and it could very well be that the rollers are worn pretty bad, because the plunger had a problem with it. Bearings, and that'll wear them because it runs sideways on the rollers. So you kind of got to be, you kind of got to fix that stuff. And yeah, anyway, let me flip you around. You can watch her coming again. You can turn your overhead blinking lights off so they don't wear out. Oh, there she comes. I know people would say, why is she running the tractor with the blinking lights? Because we go down the road and...
I have to pee so bad.
Well, stop and pee.
I'm not going to stop in the middle of the road. Do you see that Jared Weeks truck?
Well, pull down in the corner down there, and that'll be that.
That bush is over there.
Now, pee behind a bale. Pee behind a bale, nobody will care. Pull up alongside the bale and pee behind it, you'll be fine. Nobody's gonna watch. Anyway, that's my Filipina. Not afraid to pee in the field, that's for sure. Not at all.
When you guys get in this L-shaped field, they're in between the tree line and not very big tree line. That stuff is drenched. I wouldn't touch it till the end.
What is it, wet underneath?
Oh no, it's a wet spot and that stuff isn't dry at all.
Am I gonna get stuck?
You probably would. Teresa, she'd probably be fine.
Tell you what, I'm just gonna leave it there. I don't care. He's gonna plant beans in this anyway.
I know, I almost got stuck in the case over there.
A pretty good sized farm. I didn't realize it was this big.
You see the bell that rolled down the hill?
No, I'm still in this first field.
So I figured just give you a heads up.
See how nice those radios are? I got Grant over there, me and Teresa here, Timothy's over on the other farm, and we're just banging out. This is how this works, you know. You want to be in production. This is how production works, and to keep in communication with everybody is great. I got to get Grant's actually missing an antenna, and these Midland radios are actually still able to transmit. He's probably half a mile away, so even with a broken antenna, which is kind of weird, but there you go. Alrighty then. Okay, I got short rows here. I might as well shoot down here and do those because I can. And she can do those short rows, which will make her happy. And that'll be that. And I'll have to come back and get that because I don't like leaving. Well, you know what this is? That's wind. Wind blew that today, even after he flipped it over. But anyway, there you go.